That's great. Yeah, that's what we're going to say. I'm going to start doing that.
Connie and Curtis on Channel 95.7.
Wow.
Bathrooms are under construction already this morning.
Is it?
Got in there. Thought about pooping at about 2:30, and I said, I don't know if I'll be able to go back to sleep. You know what? I'm just going to hold it, and then I'll go at work. I went at work. Real nice first thing.
How are you able to hold it for
5:03
that
a.m.
long?
Well, I was nervous because exactly. Like, what if I didn't? What if I had
3 hours.
What if I had a dream?
Right.
Right?
What if you sneezed in your dream?
Oh, no! There's poop everywhere in the bed. That would be horrible. If you sneezed in your sleep and you shot out poo. Disgusting.
And that's when you need a GoPro. Is when you need a GoPro.
That is awesome.
That would be horrible.
Why are you videotaping yourself while you sleep?
I don't know.
That I don't quite get that.
Well, I don't have the answers to everything.
Okay, because you're the one who
I'm
suggested.
just an idea comer-upper with
You
her.
suggested the camera on yourself while you're sleeping, and then I'm wondering why it's there.
Oh,
What do you think you
man.
would see if you videotaped yourself sleeping?
I do something in my sleep. I think I would see myself scratching my arm. Apparently,
You're an arm scratcher.
when I sleep, I fling my arm straight up.
Okay.
And then I go really softly, like every night, up and down my arm.
Really?
Yeah.
And people have told you that you do this and said,
Yes.
what is that thing you do?
And I've caught myself too. I mean, I've been doing it for years. I never realized it was a thing, though,
Okay.
until,
Till-
somebody else was there.
Okay. It said, wow, you smacked me right in the night.
Yeah.
I used to do this weird thing where I would go,
That's creepy.
Like when did you do that?
like in the middle of the night.
Like
And-
when you were a kid?
No, like when Katie and I were just starting to like be married and living in the house, and she said, "Has anyone ever said to you that you like stop breathing in the night and just go?" And I said, "No," and she said, "You do. It is weird."
And you don't do it anymore?
Not that I know of. I don't know. So then I was like self-conscious about it because I would go out with buddies and we'd get hotel rooms.
Right.
And I was like, well, I hope I don't wake everybody up going, She said I would do it for like 5 minutes, like,
That's so weird.
And then I would go, and keep doing it like I would almost die. And she's like, that is the weirdest thing.
Wow.
But no, I don't think I do it anymore. I'll ask her. I'll
That
ask
is
her if I do
weird.
that. So you got the arm fling. I have the What about you, Amanda? Do you have any
What do you
weird
do,
sleeping
Amanda?
things?
I don't know. Mike has never said I do anything really strange.
Okay.
But lately, I probably would see if I were to film myself awake because every night I've been waking up like every hour.
Oh, no.
Of the night.
Why?
I don't know why. And then I just think about like stupid things. Not
got
that
your
I'm
brain.
like stressed or anything, but I just start thinking about what I need to do the next day.
You got the brain. You
Right.
got to stop using the brain. You need to shut the brain down.
Huh.
That's hard to do, though.
It is very hard to do.
I've been running into the whole thing where Katie comes to bed at like 11 and turns the TV on and is watching TV. And I will wake up and start watching with her for like an hour. Like I can't help myself. And I'm like, yeah, I like this. And I'm like, I need to go to
Why
sleep.
am I doing this?
I need to be asleep.
Yes.
But I feel so rested because I will fall asleep at like 10:40 and then have 20 minutes of great sleep. And then she'll come in and it's like, all right, I had my little nap. So I had a nap at 10:40.
How long does it take you when you get into bed to fall asleep at night?
That's
Like
a tough
5
one.
minutes?
Maybe 5 minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes.
That's awesome.
It's a pillow hit the head kind of thing.
Amanda?
Probably about an hour.
Me too.
Okay, so totally pitch black in your room, 1 hour, no sound, and you can't sleep?
No.
Yeah. I just toss and turn
Really?
and
Maybe
think.
That's why whenever we have to do something on a weeknight, I'm always like, I'm the person who's like, I need to be out of there by 7 o'clock because
Right.
I have to get home and get in a dark room, and it takes an hour. Otherwise, if I get home at 9, I
Yeah.
am not falling asleep until after 11.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You just lie there in
Yep.
bed?
Yep. Because I have to like come down
Okay.
and then fall asleep. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
sad. Yeah, I walk in. We did something like that about a year ago. We were watching, it was the Bachelor finale. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, the Lady Gaga, The Voice finale, where you and I were out, and I got home right as The Voice was ending, and I went, okay, the winner, and they were going to announce the winner after the commercials, and I didn't make it. I didn't make it to the commercial, and you're like, oh my gosh, I was up until like 1 a.m.
Yep.
I was like, whoa.
I know.
Apparently, it's nice to not have a brain.
But I think men are way like you.
Where we
Dan's
all
the
just fall
exact
asleep?
same way. Every man I know is like that.
Maybe
They
because
hit the pillow and they're out.
Maybe because we exhaust ourselves during the day with all the manual labor, and you women do none of that.
We do nothing.
You just sit around.
I
doing
think
your
because
nails?
we cannot shut our heads off, and you guys, your head is barely ever on.
That's true.
You know,
right?
So
Yes.
you don't let anything. You don't. Not that things bother us, but like Amanda said, thinking of things. And Curtis and I were just talking this morning about lists because I make lists for
Yes,
everything.
she had a list yesterday, 2 pages over. It said.
And that's why I make lists so I don't have to think in my
Right.
head about, oh, I need to do this. And
Right.
the minute if I forget something on the list, I will get out of bed, go to the kitchen, write it down, walk back and get it
See,
back.
I
into
never
bed.
do that.
Yeah.
If I miss something, I miss something, and I'll go and get it again. But Katie, the same thing. Like Katie hates having to make multiple trips somewhere, but I don't care. Like if we forget something at a store, I'll just go back to the store and get
Right.
it, and that drives her crazy. She will not have that for a week. She'll be like, nope, can't get it. Missed it. Was already at the store.
Right.
It's like just go back.
But
to
if
the
you
store.
need a list for something, like I had errands to run because I'm going to see my parents tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't go there and have forgotten
Can't
to
put
get
that
my mom's
off. But
present.
you knew that you were going to get your mom a present and a card. That
Right.
didn't really need to be a list or ever thought about again until you just got a present and a card.
No, because I needed other things at the places that I was going.
Right.
Yeah, and I would forget. And sometimes do you do the thing, Amanda, where you're like, you're not in a place where you can make a list and you go, okay, I need 3 things. I'm going to Walgreens. I need 3 things. And you get in there and you're like, oh, man, I can only remember 2.
Yep. And
What
then I
is
walk
the
around.
third?
You
And
know
then you
what
walk
you need?
around.
We have an app on our phone. It has our whole family's schedule, and then it has all the shopping lists for all the stores that we go to. You need that. You plug it right in, and then you know.
What's the app called?
Cozy? But then here's the problem. You get places, and if they don't have Wi-Fi or they're a big building, it won't update. Like, that's what happened to me on Meijer the other day.
right.
So I'm in Meijer's, and I call Katie and say, hey, none of the things that you told me to get are on your list.
Right.
And I don't even try to remember them because she's like, just in passing, we need this and this, and it's all on the list. So then I said, none of it's on the list. She's like, yeah, no, I just put it all on the list. And I had to get the Meijer's Wi-Fi,
Right.
and then kick it in. But if I
Right.
had just gone in blind, I would have got fabric softener, I would have got dishwasher detergent, and I would have got some socks, and then
And you would have had double of everything.
I would have had 3 things that we didn't need. I would have been in trouble. Bad
Socks.
times.
You have so many socks.
I know.
Every time you go, you buy socks.
Because it's on the list, right? You buy what's on the list.
We
You
got an
can't help
email
yourself.
yesterday about an app. Who's that from?
That is
Vanita.
from Vanita.
Out of Milk is another app.
You should try that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that Cozy has the same thing, too, with the different stores. And ours has a calendar. So
Mm-hmm.
the whole family's calendar is on, and you can set it up by person, so we're each color-coded.
Right.
So that's real nice. I can tell you who's doing what at any time.
Well, that's good.
But then Katie doesn't really update it. Mm-hmm. So it's the worst because she's a paper calendar person. And she's like, well, it's on the calendar. And I'll go, no, it's not. Nothing's on the calendar.
I'm a paper calendar person.
You guys
too.
need to break that.
I use my iPad as a calendar now.
Yes.
I promised myself if I got one, I would use it
Right.
as a calendar, and I do.
Now, if you had
I don't even have a
Cozy
paper calendar
or
anymore.
Out of Milk, then Dan could see what you're doing too. Mm-hmm. And that'd be nice for him for once.
I'm sure Dan would care.
Dan cares.
Did
Dan,
you get your mom her pillow? Dan would say.
Dan's losing sleep.
Dan, yeah, right. Dan is not losing sleep.
No, he is. He's
No.
wondering.
Yeah.
Wondering if you got your mom the pillow. Did you get her the pillow, by the way?
I did get her the pillow.
Okay, because we have to talk about this pillow like next week at some point.
Okay.
Because all of our friends have a pillow. She bought herself the generic version of the pillow and hates it.
Mm-hmm.
I contend that she's going to hate the actual version of the pillow too.
Probably.
Because the generic version is probably the exact same.
Probably.
And I want to know if that's true.
Yeah.
Or if she is like someone who you can trick and say, this
Yep.
one's better,
Yep.
and if it is better.
But we'll never know the real
No.
answer. We're
Unless
never gonna
we
be...
do the test as well.
Can you bring the generic one back for me to try?
I'll see.
How long has she had it? Because old lady head, I'm not sure I want that in my bed.
She wraps her hair every night anyway.
Okay.
Also, a pillowcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she uses a silk pillowcase, so
But
it doesn't mess her hair up.
It sweats right into the actual pillow.
We'll just put a new pillowcase.
We're talking
on
about
it.
that My Pillow. You can get them. I got mine at Art Van because I saw it there.
Okay.
So I have no idea where else you can get them, but
Right.
they're like $70 or more maybe. But they're on sale right now for like $57.
Get over there.
I did. I got over
Okay.
there yesterday and I bought it.
Did you buy yourself one?
No.
You're not convinced.
No, and here's
You're
the
not
reason why.
convinced.
Because we like different types of pillows. I like a
Right.
soft, smooshy pillow that I can clump up into a ball.
Okay.
And this one, you do not clump it into a
no.
ball. It's kind of firm, and I
Okay.
think it's got a place for your head. I don't know. It's in a giant box.
But what does it do? It keeps you cold?
I have no idea what it does, but all my mom's friends who are also 80 years old,
Right.
they all love this pillow, and she tried to save money, and she went and bought a generic version of it, and she said, all the girls, she calls them the girls,
Yeah.
all the girls just rave about it, and I do not think that it's, anything to write home about, but of course, I bought the generic one.
You got a My Pillow?
Yeah.
You're supposed to get your My Pillow fitted by the Sleep Federation.
Well, she'll have to take it and get it fitted then.
Oh, no.
Maybe you send it in. Maybe you take a mold of your head and then send it in.
I don't know. But Mike Lindell, who I do not know, personally guarantees that My Pillow will be the most comfortable pillow that you'll ever own.
Well, and
Like
the
his
girls rave
mustache.
about it.
I like his mustache,
And
too.
it's a necklace.
He does.
Very nice.
So I will, we'll let her sleep on it for about a week, and then
Bring the generic
if she will part with it,
back and then tell her that I want it.
I'll ask her.
Don't say that you're taking it to throw away or something. Say, Curtis would like to try your generic pillow.
I'll ask her
Okay.
if she's willing to part with it.
I think she will.
You think
Should I
so?
write a letter to her
Dear Mary.
that you could hand to her and then she could see I'm being...
But you're never going to have the actual one, so how are you going to know?
Well, if they're only $57,
57
Can
bucks
you go
for a
test
pillow?
it at Art Van?
I would test it at Art Van.
They're
Yes.
in boxes, though. I mean, if they let you, I don't know if they'll let you take it
I would
out
take
of the
it out.
box.
I would take it out of the box.
She was like, yeah, it's the one with the red heart on it. I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom.
Does it have a red heart?
It's got a red heart on it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to try the generic version. When do you think you?
I'll
When
see if she'll part with
When
it.
are you coming back from her house?
Sunday.
So Sunday-
Saturday or Sunday.
So Saturday night or Sunday night, I could be using the My Pillow.
Yeah,
Love it. I'll be out of town Saturday,
right.
but Sunday you could just drop it at my house. Just leave it right there in the.
yeah, I won't do that. I'll wait until Monday. If
on
I
the
get it, I'll
porch.
bring it in on Monday.
You're getting it. Don't
We'll
say
see.
if. Write it in a list.
We'll see.
Write it down.
I only write important things down.
This is important.
All right, so we're supposed to be sunny and 79 today. It's 56 right now at 6:19.
Connie and Curtis.
It is 6:30 on Channel 95.7. Connie and Curtis. 56 degrees now, 79 and partly cloudy today.
Windy right now. Got a little pink coming up. The sunrise about an hour later than we're used to. We don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think the earliest it was rising was around 6. We'd be just starting talking,
Right.
and it would be right there, and we'd be like, oh, my goodness. But now, no, none of that right now. It's dark.
The good news is if you are going to the beach today, A, it's supposed to be pretty sunny, and
Right.
B, the water's supposed to be much warmer than it has been.
It is going to warm up. It was funny because Holland, it was 40 degrees at 2 o'clock, and then by the 6 o'clock news, it was 58.
Yeah.
So it's okay, that's good. It's churning up a little bit. Yeah, warmer today. Probably still not going to go to the beach today.
Yeah.
58's a little cool. It was 72 degrees when I was there last time, and some of our friends who were from a different state, they did not go in the water because it was freezing to them.
Yeah.
Inland lakes. I forget who it was. I think it was Bill Steffen yesterday said, might want to find yourself an inland lake if you want to go swimming.
No
It's like,
kidding.
yes,
I would not
do.
go in that. But you know what? When I was a kid, I wouldn't have even thought about it.
Well, and
if there was a lake and it was summertime,
Right.
I was in it.
Here's the thing. Everyone always says, what is one of the biggest differences between Michigan and Wisconsin, where we came from? And I always say the beaches are different. I grew up probably 40 minutes away from Lake Michigan in Wisconsin, and it would be 100 degrees, and we would drive, and it would be 50 degrees at the beach, and the water would be 30 degrees. That is how it is every day on the other side of the lake. And nobody ever believed me. So yesterday I was telling my neighbors, I said, you see what they're freaking out about? That's what it's like every day on the other side of the lake. I once went camping. It was so hot. We were sweating putting up the tent. And we said, we need to get to Lake Michigan. We need to get there. And it was maybe a mile hike. But it was we were high up. So
Yeah.
then once we went down toward the lake, we needed coats.
Because it got so cold.
It was so cold.
Yeah.
That happens there all the time. And here it's rare. And people freak out on the news. I was laughing because that's so common across the lake.
You still don't want to go swimming in it, though.
No, when it's 58.
50 degrees?
No, one time, my buddies and I, we all went to the lake. So that's probably summer, right? Because we didn't have school. So we go to the lake, and I remember being out at the second sandbar with my buddy, and we could not move our legs because
was
they were
so
frozen.
cold.
And we were laughing. We were hysterical because we thought we were going to die. We were just laughing because there was
you're like,
nothing.
how are you gonna get
there was
back?
nothing we could do.
Right.
So we're out, and we couldn't yell to the shore because we were so far out.
Right.
And it's like, we are going to die. And we just ended up doing, like, getting on our back and just doing the backstroke and ending up at shore without using our legs. But we were laughing, thinking our legs are frozen.
You were hysterical.
We were giggling because we
Yeah.
thought, okay, well, we're out here in the lake and we're never getting back in because it's so cold.
That's a scary thought.
It was freezing. Luckily, we were delirious, so it didn't matter to us. You know,
Right.
we weren't freaking out at all.
That's crazy.
My mom tells stories of us in Wyoming where you swim in man-made little lakes, and they're freezing because it's all mountain runoff. And she said she would look out, and there would be just blue faces in the water, and you would have to find your blue kid and call them in
Oh
to
my
put a blanket on and
gosh.
serve them lunch.
Wow.
We would all just be freezing. Like now, these days, Child Protective Services would come and take you away.
Right.
There would be someone at the beach who would call the cops on you for letting your kid turn blue.
Well,
in
when
the
you
lake.
think about it, it wasn't until I got to be an adult where I ever noticed water temperatures.
Yeah, you're
I never
right.
even thought about it.
Right.
Never even thought about it. Never had my parents say to me, no, you can't go to the beach because we live 3 houses down from the beach.
Right.
No, you can't go to the beach. The water's too cold.
They never said it.
Never.
It was up to you.
No.
First time I noticed cold water, I was at a friend's cabin in the mountains. And there was a little tiny lake, like a couple streams poured into it. And we were walking on the ice. I remember walking on the ice, and then we got to the dock, and it was open water at the dock.
Okay.
And I ran off the dock and did a cannonball. Now,
Of course you did.
I had just been walking on ice.
Right.
Looking back, it was a mistake. I have never. It took my breath away. Like
Yeah.
I thought that there was something wrong.
That's like
And
the polar plunge.
It was colder than the polar plunge, because then I did the polar plunge and I was a little nervous about it. Like I remember that feeling, like I thought I was going to die. And a polar plunge, you're just like, oh no, you're in and you're out right away because it's so shallow. I was in like deep, freezing cold water. Stupid.
It is
It's
stupid.
a wonder. It's a wonder that I'm even here to tell these stories.
Well, I'm glad that you are.
And I'm a little glad too. Thanks for
Okay, so
passing
the
that
moral
along.
of this story,
Don't go in the cold water. If you're walking on ice, don't go in the water.
No.
or don't swim out to the second sandbar or any sandbar
Right.
if the water's 50 degrees.
Right.
Because you might not be able to swim back because you won't be able to feel your
You're
legs.
freezing. You don't
You're
know.
freezing.
You don't know how cold it is until
That is
you're
the
out there
worst,
laughing.
though. I was sitting at the pool yesterday,
Okay.
and I ended up getting very warm because I was sitting in the sun.
Yes.
But my pool was cold, so I didn't want to jump in.
Oh.
And that's the worst.
That is the worst. When your pool is too cold and you can't jump in, that is probably the worst thing. There are people in Africa who would agree
Shut
that
up.
is the worst. I mean, when you're sitting in your backyard and the sun is so hot, but your in-ground swimming pool in your backyard is too cold to jump in, that is the worst.
It turns out to be a bad Wednesday.
That makes it, man. I'm surprised that you even got up out of bed today after that horrible of a
I
day
am
yesterday.
too. Thank you.
We had a speaking of Africa. We were watching the news yesterday, and Elizabeth, they said, and in Africa, this has happened. I forget what it was. It was something happening. And she said, is that Africa? I said, yeah, that's what they just said. And she said, they have cars in Africa? She thinks Africa is like wildebeests and like warrior tribes running around.
Really?
I said, yeah, they have cities in Africa. Oh, I never knew that. Like
That's
Africa is
interesting.
Madagascar. Africa is the Lion King to her.
Right.
She doesn't think that they have cities and cars and actual people doing things.
That's funny.
I know. I was thinking we need to do a better job with our kids.
Well, what do they have to go from?
They have nothing, just the Lion King.
They probably haven't gotten to that in school yet.
No,
you know?
Africa. They have cities.
Right.
That could be like their slogan.
Right.
Africa, come to our cities. Because our Katie's aunt is in Africa right now on a safari.
Is this the aunt I met?
Yes.
She's awesome.
So she's sending pictures of like warriors and tribes and all these animals and giraffes that are 2
Okay.
feet away. And that's what the kids are seeing is Africa.
Okay.
So then when they see that it's a city, she was very confused.
That's interesting.
Why do they have cars in Africa? There are no streets. Because she's looking at where they're driving their Jeeps on the dirt. She's like, there are no streets. Like, there
I
are
had
in the
somebody say to me
cities.
once, did you know there are blondes in Africa?
Blonde people in Africa?
I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
People have it in their brain. I mean, you're right, though. you watch a movie as a kid,
Yes.
and that's what you think the
Africa.
That's what you think it is.
Africa is beautiful. Africa
It
does
is
not have
beautiful.
cities.
No.
No, there are no people in Africa.
No.
They're just lions.
No,
And that's not true.
that is not true.
No. And apparently blind people.
Did you say blind people?
Do you think there are blind people in Africa?
Blonde people, I said.
I thought you were talking about blind people.
No, blonde. Did you know
Okay.
there are blondes?
Okay.
Somebody said to me, "Did you know that there are blonde people in Africa?" And
Because I
was like,
would figure that there probably are
yes.
blind people there.
I'm sure.
Because they don't probably have like Sunglass Hut where you can just go get the polarized glasses. You're looking at the sun too
Well,
long.
we have blind people here. There are blind people everywhere, Curtis.
Everywhere?
Everywhere.
Okay. I would not put two and two together with that. Right?
Yeah, there are.
And you would think the
I'm
blind
here to
people in
tell you.
Africa get eaten by like lions more often than people who can see a
You
lion.
think the lions are just hanging out in the subdivisions?
Isn't that what they do?
I don't know. I've never been
No,
to Africa.
we need to go to Africa.
I have no idea.
What
My
if we-
friend who went to Africa and lived in a subdivision never saw a lion until she went on a safari.
She lived in an actual like city.
She did. She lived.
setting?
She lived in Kenya, the capital of Kenya. I can't remember what city that is, but she lived actually with a doctor and his family.
Wow, that's
Okay.
cool.
So yeah, she never saw a lion until she went on a safari.
Yeah.
Seeing lions would be cool. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I just go looking out for lions and I never see them.
Oh, you have to go to a zoo.
Around here, you do,
gotta
but in
go
my
to the
neighborhood,
zoo.
no.
No, you don't have to go?
No, there aren't any. No, there are none.
Well, no kidding.
No kidding. I'm not kidding.
Did you see the story about that woman who got her finger bit off by the lion at
No.
like the Ottawa Zoo or something?
A little baby lion?
Yeah, I don't
Those are
know.
the cutest.
I don't.
I think it was a regular.
It was
size
a regular
lion.
size lion.
Okay.
And she's saying that a worker let her into that area.
A
and
worker.
The park is saying, no, we didn't. She just went through a security gate she wasn't supposed to go through, ignored the signs, got her finger bit off,
How did
and
it
now she's
only
going
bite
to
her
sue.
finger?
Because she stuck her hand in the cage,
Oh, so she was right up to a cage and said, hey, lion, and then it bit her finger right off?
the tip of her finger off.
Isn't it supposed to lick first? Or rub its head against you?
That's a cat. It's a little.
And then you,
Yeah, big lions don't really.
they just chomp right away off,
They
off the finger?
apparently. Yeah.
What a great story. How'd you lose your finger? Lion bit it off. Mm-hmm. Crazy. No, I did not see that story.
Yeah, I just saw it this
That was
morning.
around here?
Hold on. I will find it and let you know exactly where it is.
One time I got to see some little baby lions or tigers. They were baby tigers, and they were the cutest thing ever. And they like gnawed on you like they were little puppies. No. I
can't find it.
But they didn't chomp any fingers off.
Yeah, well, those are lions.
Yeah.
Lions eat people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. These
meat.
were tigers. They eat people, but they were babies.
Well,
so they were
babies, that's totally different.
but an actual one will just gnaw your finger right off. Just one chomp.
That's why there are all those signs saying, don't put your hand in the cage.
Yes.
You idiot.
They need to be maybe a little nicer to us, and maybe we'll listen to them. Please don't put your hand in the cage, you idiot. Would be
Yeah,
better.
put please at the front of anything, it makes it all okay.
Yeah, why are you being a jerk?
Can you find out where it is, Amanda?
I do know where it is. I'm going to spell it because I am afraid I will pronounce it incorrectly.
Okay.
It was in Iosco County.
IOSCO?
Iosco.
What city?
Iosco? I don't know.
It just said it happened over the weekend at a local zoo.
That's
Let's
awesome.
look at another story here.
Because the Iosco County Fair is ramping up. I see that.
Yeah, I wasn't at the fair.
I see that the Iosco voters are deciding the primary races.
Was visiting the Sunrise Side Nature Trail and Exotic Park outside East Tawas.
Tawas.
Okay. And a
Why do I
lionator
always think it's the Ottawa Zoo?
and a lionator
I don't even
face-off.
think that exists. Does
It doesn't. I don't know why I always think that.
Iosco, Ottawa, I get it.
I know, all those vowels.
Lionator face off. So don't ever
No,
go
finger.
up to a lion. Don't go to a lion. It'll eat
And
your
there's a
face right
picture
off.
of it. Oh,
There's a picture of her finger?
yeah, it's blurred out, but you could still tell.
Hold it up.
Okay.
I did not want to see the picture of her finger.
I do.
Ah.
That's a clean break. Put that up. Put that online.
No.
MyChannel957.com.
That's not going up there.
Lion biting fingers. We need to share that picture because that's
Why?
something you don't think about.
Yes, you do.
That a
You
lion
should
could
be
eat-
thinking about
Yes.
it.
You would never think that if you put your finger into a lion cage, it was going to do anything more than just rub its head on your hand.
I would think that every time it was going to bite me off.
You
bite,
would?
Bite my finger off.
You would?
Every time. That's why I would not stick my
That's
finger
not their
or my
first
hand in
instinct
there.
is to bite, though. Well,
Why do
apparently
you think
it is.
there are signs? And
never
keep your
seen
hand
these
out.
signs that you talk
Keep
about.
your hands out. Do not climb into the cage. Blah blah blah.
I've never seen an actual sign tell me that. I just know that they just say that.
It's common sense.
Exactly. But you put your finger in and it chops your finger right off. We need to show this picture so that no one does that.
It's like a public safety
Exactly.
measure.
Exactly.
I think pretty much everybody knows that. I feel like that's common
This woman
knowledge.
didn't.
And Curtis says he didn't
I didn't either. I would have thought that it would have rubbed its head on me.
and started purring
Yes.
before it ate you.
I didn't think it would eat me.
Why would they even have it encaged then if it wasn't going to bite?
They don't want.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose it.
They don't. That's true.
Right?
I mean, they have everything in a cage there.
Yeah. Yeah. Flamingos aren't going to bite your face off. Exactly. Thank you, Connie.
Connie and
You're
Curtis.
welcome.
Connie and
650 at Channel 95.7, 56 degrees now, 79, and a few clouds today. Chance of scattered thunderstorms tomorrow and 81. But we're going to be hovering around 80 once we get to tomorrow.
Did you
like
see
for a week?
that yesterday Grand Rapids almost got to 80 and then that darn rain moved in? Like we were right there and then now it didn't rain at my house, so I
No.
stayed hot. It was pretty funny. I was laughing because
It rained at mine.
well, because you're right
for
by
like a hot minute.
You're by the airport, and that's where they have that big thing that the thermometer. That's where they keep that.
The big thing.
So then you watch that, and I was laughing because it's like it's hot, 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 and then luckily we got that cool down. I'm like, we didn't get a cool down.
You didn't get a cool
Gotta
down.
know.
We did.
Gotta know who you're talking to.
It was 74 degrees in my house at like 6
That's chilly.
last night.
Chill.
I know.
It was hot at
And,
my house.
by the way,
Yeah.
I do believe this is a fire pit update.
Okay.
Yesterday we were having this big conversation because I want a traditional like campground fire pit.
Yes.
And so does Dan, but we were a little concerned
I did
that the
read-
fire department was going to show up and blow it out.
I did read the Kentwood codes, and you're right to be concerned.
Right. But we're doing one anyway.
Boom.
Yeah. He's going to go, I think he's going to talk to
Just don't tell anybody.
No.
And
He
you'll
has
be
several
fine.
things. He has several things he's going to do.
Okay, like
so
what?
he's like a shed. So he's going to go to the city and talk to them about what is okay and what's not.
Nice.
Yeah. But we decided that would be our first choice.
Portable are okay. I read the whole
one.
code yesterday. Nothing in ground. Here's what you need to do, and this
He's
is
going to build it up around a portable one.
this is your way around it exactly. Put a portable one in, and it has to be 15 feet away from your house.
Yep.
The fence, everything.
Yep.
They get it 15 feet around it.
Yep.
So you should be
I know.
okay. You need that.
He read up on it
screen.
yesterday.
So good luck to you guys.
So we'll
okay?
see what
I've
happens.
been watching.
But I don't think we're going to get a chimney until we find out.
How exciting is this?
I know. A real fire pit.
And then you can have a real fire pit party.
No.
Okay. Never mind then.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure I'll have people over. But
Is there any beer left over from your party? I was going to ask because when you have a bring your own beer party, a lot of times it gets left at the party and then you have like strange cans. Do you need me to come over and clean
and
up?
drink some of the strange beer?
Yes.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Okay, you guys haven't cleaned up?
No, it's completely cleaned up, but Dan took care of that. And
Okay.
whatever it is in the refrigerator in the basement, which
Okay.
I do not look in
Okay.
during the week.
I'll come down then and I'll check everything out. I'll go down to that refrigerator in the basement and I'll just go to work. And you got me for 5 hours.
I know
okay?
our beer. Well, no, I don't know. No, I don't know.
You don't
I
know
can't
anything
answer
about
that
the beer.
question intelligently, so
You got no answers.
I got no answers.
Okay, you're answerless. What were you going to say about your beer?
I thought my beer was gone, but I don't think it is.
I'll come and drink it.
You don't even like Bud Light.
And that's fine. It
Why
doesn't
would
matter.
you drink beer you don't even like?
I mean, I like it. I don't hate it.
You don't ever buy it.
No.
Okay,
No.
so why would you why drink it if you don't?
Because that's what's available. You go with what's available. Or maybe you need to sober up. We've talked about this before.
I thought you sobered up with Miller Lite.
Well, in the past I have, but I could use your Bud Light to sober up. That would definitely work.
You're
Work
gonna
out
come
for
to
me.
my house to sober up?
Yes.
I think we're good, Curtis.
I'll have a taxi to drop me. What did you bring to the party, Amanda? I'm trying to think what could be left.
Amanda
We-
didn't bring any alcohol.
No, we did not because I did not want to drink any alcohol.
Okay, that's smart. Okay.
Amanda and I do not like to get wasted around coworkers.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the three of us. Well, I
Yeah.
don't like to be wasted anyway.
No,
But
being wasted isn't fun.
I have there are certain coworkers. I just don't like to do that.
No, that makes sense.
But like us three, I have no problem going out and drinking
like
with you guys.
The three of us. I mean, you let your hair down. We got
Right.
we got nothing in front of us.
I just, it's kind of
Others
my
though.
thing.
Okay, yeah,
You know,
cool.
I don't like to
Me
be-
neither. I'm right there with you.
You do not care.
Right there with you.
You do not care.
I don't care about a lot of things. We were at a little class the other day. This is the funniest thing that someone has said. That she was talking about Grand Rapids and what a tight-knit community it is.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, everyone tries to be so closed in, and they don't share as much as maybe they would. And it went to kind of like the conservative.
Because we have like 2 degrees of separation,
exactly.
is what she was saying.
Everyone knows everyone.
Right.
And she said, and that's why you always want to put your best foot forward. And Connie kicked me under the table, like, maybe you should start putting your best foot forward. I don't know. I just put my foot forward. That's just me. Best foot, regular foot.
I
Doesn't
mean,
matter.
it's subjective.
Sometimes,
Which foot is your best foot?
well, I just put my foot. I don't think I have a best foot. Where you are saying you do. You knew that there was going to be a situation where you didn't want to be doing something that you didn't want somebody to see you. You put a best foot forward.
Absolutely.
Amanda does it too.
Yeah.
I don't have a best foot.
Yeah,
I just
know.
have feet.
Everybody knows.
I just got my feet and I just do it. I did some wild stunts at your party though, and people are still talking about it, I bet.
You thrive on attention.
The stunts.
Isn't that
The
hilarious?
stunts were spectacular.
Who's talking about it? I haven't heard anybody talk about it.
Man, there's
Chris
there
is talking
blog
about it.
posts
there's a
about
buzz.
it.
There's a buzz about
Where
it.
is the buzz?
It's I feel it. I feel it walking through the halls here. I feel it driving through your neighborhood, seeing if you guys are outside.
You're such a creeper.
I feel it all the time.
Curtis, you are such a creeper.
I feel it looking at the Google map of your house. I feel it. I feel it whenever I think of you and your house and Dan.
Oh, Curtis.
Speaking of buzzes, remember I was telling you about that awesome show last night, Penn and Teller Fool Us?
Oh, yeah.
That show was amazing.
No way.
Yeah, right.
No, it was.
Hey, Connie and Amanda, are you going to watch the magic show tonight?
The magic / comedy hour.
It was awesome. Here's the deal, okay? So
No.
you come and do your act. If you trick Penn and Teller, if they can't tell you how you did it,
Right.
you get to perform with them in Las Vegas.
Was there anybody that they could not figure
one
out?
person?
Really?
And they said to this person, "We know how you did it. It's in the box." And he had the host, he said, "Please go grab that box." And the host opened the box and started laughing. And they said, "What?" And inside there was a note and it said, "No."
Oh, that's cool.
And they said, "Well, then you fooled us. You're coming to Vegas." And it was cool. And we were trying to figure out because everyone had a British accent.
Okay.
So it's like, why are there no Americans on the show?
Because we don't care about magic tricks.
No, they were in England. They were in England.
Whatever.
They were in England.
I don't believe you.
It was a great show. Pip, pip, tally ho.
In England, they're about 40 years behind us.
No, that's
So
not
they still
true.
care
That's not
about
true.
magic.
Yeah.
England is so
They're
far
like, hey,
ahead
have
of
you
us.
seen this new guy, David Copperfield? He's awesome.
Not true. Penn and Teller is who was there. And it was
Chris
awesome.
Angel Mind Freak.
I know. No, they haven't even seen him yet. They don't even know who Chris
There were
Angel
some
Mind Freak is.
illusions. There were just, I mean, it was,
Were there some that made you laugh out loud because they were so bad?
no.
No, they were all good.
They were all good, but I didn't know how any of them were done. And that was one nice thing because Katie and I were watching, and she's like, "Are they going to ruin people's tricks?" And they didn't. They just said, "We know how you did it." And then they would give, they would say something, like magic speak, and the guy would go, "Yeah," and then move on.
Did they have wands?
No one had a wand. One guy, here's one that was awesome, and I'll tell you how to do it. You need to make your own die, okay? Like a dice, like a die.
Okay.
And black out one of the numbers.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say that
So 2 becomes a 1.
you have, well, you'd have to make a 1 and 2 because you can't take one out. So
White out.
you could use whiteout. So it only has 5 numbers on it, okay? And one number is on twice. And then you have envelopes with cell phones in them.
Oh my gosh, I'm bored after 10 seconds of this
Envelopes
story.
with cell phones
No,
in them?
you're not.
Why?
And then you roll the dice and you smash the cell phone of each number. But then the one number is never going to come up. So you're like, and here's your phone. You give it back to them. Maybe I'm telling it wrong. But
That's
it-
the worst magic trick. That's stupid.
No,
stupid.
the whole night was awesome, and I can't wait for next week because it's my new
You're
favorite
going to
show.
watch this show
Right.
out of spite.
You should be a commercial for why you need cable. You should totally. Yes,
No.
you should. Yes, you should.
No, it's on-
You need to get together with Comcast
It's
and
on-
be in a commercial.
it's on the CW.
for why-
And it's a wonderful program.
You-
Hold
Ding,
on.
bling, bling. Hello,
No.
Comcast. I have an idea for you.
I bet.
You need to be on a commercial for why we should all have Comcast. Or AT&T Uverse or whatever.
I bet.
Or cable of any kind.
Cable
bet.
of a dish. Direct TV.
Give it one more week, and I bet it's top 10 TV show of the summer. It's that good. It's that good. Give it one more week. Because of this buzz.
Wow.
This buzz.
Yes.
Just like the buzz of all the tricks you
Yes,
did
the
at my
stunts.
pool.
I did some stunts.
Oh my gosh. You live in serious fantasy
No.
land.
Delusionville.
Yes, you're in Delusionville.
Population 1.
No.
Curtis.
After the second episode, it will be top 10 show of the summer. It was that good.
I'm already dreading
What
next
of shows
Thursday
on the
morning.
CW?
Yeah.
Top 10 shows on the CW on Wednesday night at 8.
No, not true.
And it's still even number 1.
It wins.
of the summer. It's going to be huge.
Okay.
Penn and Teller fool us. Don't miss it.
Wake up.
Wake